play games and think to yourself, man, I liked this a lot more before I started playing it? Well, that's where I'm at right now. The biggest example I can think of that is Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a game that the idea behind, the art style behind, the story, the lore, the premise, the idea, all of it I loved. All of this lore and backstory and history and, exposition and everything about Horizon Zero Dawn I loved, except playing the actual game. Playing it, I just kept wishing I was playing something else. So it sort of took away from me this desire, it took away this thing that I enjoyed and turned it into a thing that I disliked. And that's sort of what I want to talk about today. In that I feel like there are some games and some properties that I really like the idea of and I like the premise of, but I'm not so sure that I would like them in execution. And this was brought on by the most recent episode of the Cartridge Club, hosted by Musty Hobbit and Ryan Gorman. It's Rocket Sauce on Halo. So they played Halo. Now this is a franchise that I have for a very long time been interested in getting into. I want to try Halo. It's the Microsoft flagship. It's a space marine, which I love from Aliens and other things with space marines. And it's in a genre I'm not super fond of, first-person shooters, on a console platform that I haven't traditionally been a fan of, Microsoft, Xbox. But I still really wanted to try this game. I really wanted to like this game. I wanted to dive into the lore. I have one of the books here somewhere, The Fall of Reach, I think it is. And it's something I really wanted to try. So I listened to the podcast without playing the game. And while listening to it, I heard some of the critiques and criticisms that the panel had there. Brazzle the Gamer, Matt, 80 Defense, and Shelby from Bonus Barrel, and Ryan as well. Some of the critiques and criticisms they had, which made me think, you know what? I'm kind of glad I didn't play this game. But by not playing it, I don't lose that attachment. So I still, inside, I still think, oh man, Halo, yeah, that's great. I'm excited. People are excited about it. I think it's something that would be great to try, and maybe not try, but it's still a media. It's not a media. It's still a property that I like the idea of. I still have this like for Halo, drawn completely from my own ideas on it or listening to other people talk about it, and not physically playing it. That I think would have been taken away from me had I played it and had a bad time with it, or had a frustrating time with it and not enjoyed it. And that's what I'm wondering is, how many franchises out there are there that I like the idea of, I like the premise of, but in execution I wouldn't enjoy? Another one that comes to mind is Dark Souls. I loved, I shouldn't say I loved. I really enjoyed Demon's Souls on the PlayStation 3. And then when I played Dark Souls, I got about 3/4 of the way through and sort of fell out of love with it. Now I still like the idea of this hard fantasy setting, you got to get good sort of gameplay, but it's not for me. I haven't played one since Dark Souls 2, and even then I didn't get very far out of that. I'm not even sure if I played 2, to be honest with you. I know I own it. So there's these franchises that I like the idea of them, or these games that I like the idea of them, that I'm never going to play, but I'm still able to enjoy them as an observer. And I was thinking about it today. I was driving and I was like, is there any other things that are like this? And the closest analogy I could come to was the NFL. I love the NFL. I'm a big fan. Go Dolphins. I watch the majority of the Dolphins games on Sundays, and I watch a few of the other games as well. But I don't watch every game on Sunday. Now, does that make me less of a Browns fan? No. I could still name a bunch of Browns players. I get excited for the Browns when they get a big draft, something happens, and their fans are pumped, and I get pumped for them, even though I'm not watching them, I'm not actively engaging with them. And I feel like this is sort of the same way. No disrespect to Browns fans. Good luck this year. You should have not taken Baker Mayfield. But so to bring us back around to E3. So what I had done just prior to E3 was I had made the conscious decision that I don't have as much fun on my PlayStation 4 and my Xbox One as I do on my Switch. Now, it's more convenient for me to take my Switch with me to work. My wife and my child both play on their Switch with me, or on the Switch with me. My brother plays primarily on his Switch. And we grew up, we were a Nintendo family. It's familiar, it's comfortable. I like the franchises, I like the style, I like what they do. I am a fan of their work. So, I made the decision that the Switch is going to be my one console, and I will reserve my other two for major tentpole titles that I feel I absolutely cannot miss. So God of War, perhaps. When Anthem comes out, that'll be one that I most likely grab, depending on its reviews. I will definitely be waiting for reviews on that. And I'm going to cut out all of these smaller games. Games like Recore, Sunset Overdrive, Persona 5, Uncharted, The Last of Us 2, probably. Now, these are games that I like the idea of. I like the idea of an Uncharted world. I like the idea of Tomb Raider. I played the Tomb Raider reboot. I haven't played it since, but I would still say I like that game. I like that universe. I like listening to people talk about it. I like hearing people get excited about it. And I like living in this world where I don't necessarily have to play it to still enjoy it and still be a fan of that property. And I'm wondering if there's anybody else out there who feels this way, who's like, you know what, I really love the idea of Donkey Kong Country, but I'm terrible at platformers, they're too hard. I would still say I'm a fan of Donkey Kong Country, but I don't play them. As an example, like, who is there anybody else out there who has these games who thinks, you know what, I enjoy this more not playing it than I would playing it. I'd rather just listen to people talk about it, soak up that excitement like a little emotional suckerfish, from the people who are loving it and getting hyped for it. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Is there anybody else who likes that? What media do you like better from the outside than from the inside? What's a better idea? What's something that you enjoy more not consuming than you would consume it? And that's the problem. I can't go back to Horizon Zero Dawn. I can't. Everything that I disliked about the game when I played it, same as Witcher 3. It was a game that I liked the idea behind. I played it. I disliked it for very many same reasons. Insert joke comments here. Oh, you don't like good games? Sure, that's what I don't like. But I can't go back to those games now, and it's kind of a bummer because I was really excited for them. But I listened to this Halo show, and I listened to the guys talk about it and how excited Shelby got about driving the Warthog or the I can't remember the names of all the ships. Ghosts, maybe? Anyway. Or how Mustard really likes guns, in Halo. He likes Halo guns, the different weapons. Hearing how Ryan was using the wrong weapon to fight the elites the whole time. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed hearing them talk about Halo. It made my enjoyment for Halo continue to grow, and it's a franchise that I know that I will most likely never play. But if at E3 this year, which I wasn't excited for up until this episode, and after listening to this episode, I've come to the realization that, you know what? It's okay to watch the Sony press conference knowing that I'm not going to play all these games, because there's going to be exciting moments that I can get excited for. Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm most likely never going to play that game, but I know people love it, so I can get excited for those people. Death Stranding, I have zero interest in Death Stranding, but if people are getting excited about it, people are really looking forward to it, I can get along, I can be happy for that excitement. I can be happy for them for that. So I am excited for E3 now, and now I know if, Microsoft comes on stage and says, Crackdown 3 is canceled, but we're going to give a Halo 5, or a Halo 6, in 2027, I'll get excited right along with those other people for Master Chief's New Adventures. Yeah, so that's all. I just wanted to come out and, just... Because it was, I don't know, is it weird? Is it weird of me to like games better without playing them? What do you guys think? Let me know.